Hey, welcome back to the 5-Minute Strategist. As you may or may not be aware, I have been on a mini hiatus for 2 months. I found myself at the end of July questioning where I wanted to take the business. Nothing felt like it was kind of clicking for me, and so I decided to take a mini break to give myself some distance, allow myself to think through what I wanted to do, and then come back strong. Like so many people who try to take a break, instead of me taking a break, relaxing, allowing myself space to think, I ended up taking on 2 new fractional COO clients at the same time and spent 6 weeks in a whirlwind of onboarding, getting up to speed, making changes, tweaking things, all the stuff that happens at the beginning of a project for me. And so those 2 weeks, instead of being a 2-week complete break from business, turned into 2 months where, yes, I took a break from the podcast and I took a break from being on social media, but I was working just as hard, if not harder, in the run-up to me deciding I needed a break. And this is such a common story in our entrepreneurial world. While we pay lip service to work-life balance and rest as a productive activity and self-care Saturdays or Sundays or whatever it is that Instagram or TikTok is telling us is the latest trend, can be really bad at implementing it. And so as I come back into the podcast, I wanted to make sure we talked about this so that you prioritize yourself as much as your business going into Q4. Because the Q4 messaging is strong, right? You come back from vacation, you're excited to get back into your business, and the first thing that smacks you is launch season. People selling you things that you need to do in your business to achieve those goals by year end. But you're also watching all these people launch and take these strides in their business, which adds this pressure to I must do something by the end of Q4. And then Q4 brings its own pressure because suddenly it's Black Friday and then people will be gone for Thanksgiving. And then it's going to be the holiday season. And so it's not really a full quarter. And we can just wrap ourselves up in our brain in this feeling of we have too little time. And instead of resting and recovering when we need to, when it would be the best thing we could do for our business, we push through. And there are a couple of things that I really want to whisper gently in your ear today that will hopefully balance some of that messaging. The first one is that in our small businesses, 99.99% of our deadlines and timelines are self-imposed. Raise your hand if you have ever felt like you needed to be doing something faster, sooner, quicker. When you're a public company, your year-end is critical because that's when you get to show investors what you've done with their money. In your small business space, having a goal for year-end is a great way to motivate yourself. But when it becomes the be-all and end-all, you need to remind yourself that it is a fake goalpost. There is no investor taking stock of how much money you made this year. So it's one thing to press for a goal because you're excited about a goal. It's another thing to have convinced yourself that that goal gets to run your life when you're the one who set that goal. Now, I'm not suggesting that you just have no timelines and you don't set any deadlines for yourself. But as we go into Q4, the pressure to get stuff done by the 31st of December is going to take hold. And I want you to be able to take a moment and ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario here? If I miss this goal by December, what actually happens? Because we can treat that deadline like it's life or death. But the reality is it's just a date and it will tick over. Remind yourself that very little in our business is life or death. If you need to rest, and then come back to it. The second thing I want you to understand is we tend to think about burnout as the very extreme of burnout, the exhaustion, the inability to do anything anymore. But the reality is that's not how burnout starts. Burnout starts to reveal itself to you when you're no longer excited about things that you used to be excited about. When you've pushed through a 12-hour day and somehow didn't get anything done. This is when burnout is waving at you that it would be a great moment for you to take a break. But you are going to have plenty of things in Q4 pushing you to go harder, pushing you to push through the I'm not excited about this. push through the, wow, I'm not being super productive. And what happens is you hit the end of Q4 and you're exhausted. And then you think, I don't like my business anymore. And then you think, oh, in 2025, I'm going to stop doing this thing because it no longer brings me joy. When in fact, if you took a much needed break and came back, that thing could fill you with joy all over again. So as we go through Q4, I want you to constantly be asking yourself if you're prioritizing the work or the life balance part of that equation. And how is that setting you up for success for year end and for 2025?